Yes, welcome to all. Welcome, sir. Dubey, sir.
Good afternoon, Professor.
Yes. I will just introduce yourself, sir.
Sure.
Yes. This is the formalities. Just good afternoon to all. I welcome Professor B. N. Dubey, sir, in ICSSR sponsored 12 days CBP on Advanced Research Methodology for Young Aspirants in Social Science and Humanities 2022. I welcome Dr. Anuja Jadhav ma'am, organizer, as well as the coordinators of Department of English, Rajarshi Mahavidyalaya Autonomous Latur. I also welcome all the participants who participate in the session from all over India. This is the 5th day of program. In this session, today's resource person, Professor B. N. Dubey sir, put his views on the topic data and social science research. I once again welcome you, sir. Today's resource person, Professor Dubey sir, presently working as professor in Department of Sociology, Ambedkar School of Social Sciences, Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Central University, Lucknow, UP. His area of specialization is Sociology of Education, Government Policies and Programs on Education, Social Justice and Tribal Sociology. Sir is working as a NAC assessor since 2019. Sir is worked as the evaluator of Impression 1 and Impress 2 projects of ICSSR, New Delhi. Sir is also associated with various public service commissions for confidential work since 2018. Sir has huge academic experience. He has more than 22 years experience in teaching and research. He published 2 books, 1 booklet, E-Content 3, book chapters 5, articles and research articles 25, books under publication 1. Sir has completed 3 minor research projects, 7 candidates were awarded PhD degree and 8 MPhil degree. At present, 5 candidates are working for PhD under the guidance of Sir. Sir, not only having the academic experience, but also having administrative experience at Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. He was worked as head of the Department of Sociology, controller of examination, advisor to the finance officer, assistant dean, students welfare of this university. Sir has constantly programmed more than 1.5 years with national level consultancy on district primary education program. Employed through Educational Consultants of India Technical Support Group, MHRD, Government of India. Sir has more than 22 years experience of teaching and research. Sir is life member of International Sociological Association, Indian Sociological Society, Comparative Education Society of India, Indian Teachers Association, and so more. Sir is presently working as member of Board of Graduate and Postgraduate Studies, Deen Dayal Upadhyay University, Gorakhpur, UP, since 2020. Member of Steering Committee, NAC of IQAC in present university, and so on. Sir has huge experience at international and national and state level seminars and webinars. Once again, welcome, sir. Over to you, sir. Sir.
Thank you, Dr. Dhumal, and good afternoon, everybody. And I'm thankful to ICSSR in general, and particular to the principal of Rajarshi Sahu Mahavidyalaya Latur, Professor Mahadeva, and I'm thankful to Dr. Dhumal again and Dr. Anuja for providing me this opportunity. Teaching students, that is a different experience, and sharing experiences with the auspicious group like teachers, that is altogether different experience. Let me make it very clear that I'm not your teacher. I'm just one of you, one amongst you. It's a question of that who is a resource person and who is listening on the other side of the table. In this case, from other parts of the country like Haryana, Maharashtra, and participants might from other states also. So, good afternoon, everybody. And today's topic is my topic is data and social science research. So I will, and I'm extremely sorry for not presenting it through PPT because of some workload by the university given to us for we are going to submit our NAC SSR and we are in the second cycle of the assessment. So that is the additional responsibility apart from the regular administrative kind of thing. But I hope I will try to do justice to the topic I am going to speak on. So my topic is data and social science research. Friends, we use data in day-to-day life, maybe not in a very formal, organized kind of way, but in day-to-day life, certainly in everyday life, we use data, some sort of data. For example, since my specialization is sociology of education, I have worked in tribal society. I have worked on tribal children. So my most of the examples would be from sociology, from education, and such kind of setup. Maybe I'm a little bit biased for my subject, my specialization, but that is because of my training. So, first of all, let me start with a statement. For example, India has progressed a lot over the period of time so far expansion of higher education is concerned. It is one statement. Another could be, as compared to 1947, we have progressed a lot. That is another statement. Third statement could be, as per the data available from All India Higher Education Survey that appeared in 2019-2020 in the month of October, and that was made available to us by 2020-21, October to be very precise. As per that information, that source, India is having 35 times more than that of universities existing in 1947, 74 times more than that of the college existing in 1947, and at present we have 1,013 universities that include central universities, state universities, and private universities. We have more than 40,000 colleges. It's only, they are management colleges, private colleges, they are affiliated colleges, and all the category of colleges. If we talk about the enrollment, the exact number would be by October 2020-21, we had 38.5 million students enrolled at higher education. Why I made three statements? Because there lies quantitative as well as qualitative difference among the statements, across the statements. Why I gave this example? Because data makes us precise. Data makes us rational while we are making some statement. And with the help of data, we can argue in a better way, in a logical way. That is why the importance of data is, it has been increasing in day-to-day life. And let me tell you about the structure of my presentation. There are broadly 4 or 5 sections in my presentation. One would be dealing with the definitional kind of thing, and initially I made a statement that I'm not your teacher, I'm just one of them, one of you rather. So I'll start with the introduction kind of introduction kind of thing related to data and some framework. Secondly, my focus would be the nature of data. For example, broadly, we have qualitative and quantitative data. Further, there could be nominal and ordinal data under the qualitative category. Similarly, we have discrete and continuous data in quantitative category. So third part of my lecture would be, you all know, because most of you are teachers, methods of data collection. But I would like to present it with the help of the classification given by David McNabb in 2005. Things are almost the same, but the classification he has given, he has made like positivist research data and post-positivist research data. So I'll keep it into the methods of data collection like observation, survey, interview, focus group discussion through classification given by David McNabb. And last part of my data, the small that segment would be on the data and ICT, information communication technology. And finally, we'll conclude. The last section will be related to conclusion, because nowadays we have data scientists and we have data management and a lot of things are going on data. So let me begin that data, that introductory part of my lecture. And we know, let me go into a bit of historicity. So it has been, that very term data, it has been used since 16. Am I audible, Dr. Dhumal?
Yes, sir. You are.
Sorry. Okay. So the data, the term has been in use since 1640, since quite long, and grammatically it is the plural form of datum. Datum is a Latin word. Why I'm telling you that is that most of us, we use data, but we have little idea about the historicity. So not into much detail, but since 1640 it has been used. And it is like mass noun, like rain, like sand. So it could be used as plural and it could be used as singular. So datum is singular and data is plural, but data can also be singular or plural and vice versa. So in social science, because our topic is data and in social science. So in social sciences, from the first decade of 20th century, this word became more and more popular. You know what was happening in anthropology and sociology? A lot of studies, field-based studies were going on. Like Redcliffe Brown's study, Malinowski's study, they were in the field. Though their studies were focused on qualitative data, but because of the fieldwork tradition and because of that shift from text to context, so it was widely being in use. And after that, it became slowly and gradually popular in the social science subjects. And nowadays, it is very popular in management sciences, business sciences, and engineering sciences. Apart from that, we have arts discipline also. They are also using data in that for wider understanding. So data is collection of information. Basically, it is collection of information gathered by various techniques and often organized in tables. Sometimes they are shown also in the form of graphs, charts and diagrams, pie chart, bar diagram, etc., etc. And data itself is nothing. But if we analyze those data, putting in a particular frame, so it becomes information. Raw data is nothing in itself. Raw data is nothing, but if it is used for in a particular framework, if it is used for certain objective, if it is used for that support of some argument, so it becomes information. So nowadays, as I told you that in most of the social sciences and the natural sciences, engineering sciences, management sciences, data is widely being used. And we have to, because in social sciences, we are more focused on basically two types of data. One is qualitative and another is quantitative. That is widely known, those who are students of sociology or social sciences. So basically, data that could be of qualitative nature or quantitative nature. And again, I'm telling you that data itself is nothing and it becomes information when it is being analyzed. So transformation from data to information when we analyze those data. And in computer science, very briefly, I will tell how they are treating, because in social sciences, we are mostly confined with either qualitative or quantitative or mixed method data collection, or both qualitative and quantitative. But in computer science, classes of data types are various. For example, though our focus is not on the computer science, but just for sharing the information I'm telling you, the data types in computer science could be of machine type data. Now, a lot of artificial intelligence people are working, IITs, different, that subject is being taught, artificial intelligence. Some engineering courses also, it has been started in probably IITs and some other top level engineering college of India. Data science or data management, some course on data management or data science. So in computer science, we have machine data types, then we have enumerations, then we have numeric types, then we have pointers and references. Technical term for the computer science, those who are having knowledge of computer science and data, they might be knowing it. But that is none of our concern, just for sharing the information. In social science, basically, we are concerned about the qualitative and quantitative data. And we know that there are certain tools and techniques to collect these data. Later on, in the later part of the discussion, we'll briefly touch all those methods, not into the details, but just to share that what kind of methods, what kind of tools we have to collect data. And let us start with the broader classification in social science. So one is qualitative data, another is quantitative data. So qualitative data could be of two types. One is nominal. Though we are using data, but my effort is to make you aware that these are also the classifications available. So under this qualitative, we have nominal data and we have ordinal data. So nominal data, it is basically qualitative information. And when information is qualitative, it means the level of variables. The level of variables should be without numerical value, because it is the qualitative data. And it also can be, through symbols, through letters, through words, through even gender, it also can be expressed. The nominal data. Another quality of nominal data is they are usually examined using grouping method. Grouping method means when data are grouped into categories, different categories. For example, different frequencies. For example, this pie chart, or for example, this bar diagram. So it can be shown. Nominal data can be shown through graph, through pie chart, and through the bar diagram. Another kind of qualitative data, that is ordinal data. It means we have to follow the natural order. For example, and the difference between data values are not determined. It is not determined, and mostly we see that survey, NSS, economic survey, the budget is coming, so pre-budget survey. So such kind of they are using ordinal data for economic survey, for survey, even for questionnaire. Sometimes in sociology, it is mailed questionnaire. Questionnaire are being mailed through post office. Nowadays, email is very much prevalent. So questionnaire is also being sent through email. So that is there. And we know that this ordinal data is very important, because sometimes it may be projected through visualization. Instead of writing, it could be put through the visuals. That is also there. And if we shift to the quantitative data, I'm quickly going to, because the time is limited for us, so not very detailed kind of thing. Now we are switching over to the quantitative data. It is known as numerical data, when numerical values are given. And this kind of data refers like values, and values are usually attached with the numbers. Numbers, figures, percentage, scale of measurement. Then these are used to cover large scale field survey. Suppose large scale field survey, suppose survey is confined to a district, maybe a region, maybe 5 districts, maybe like we had a district primary education program. I had an opportunity to work from the national level on that program. So Diastrator, every year by the month of September, data from the schools, they are categorized, analyzed at the district level, from district level to state, from the state to the funding agency or to the central level, where the project office is located. So when the data, we have to cover large scale, and when sometimes it is because of that statistical interpretations, sometimes handling data itself is a challenge. For example, in Europe, in particular in America, during 70s and 80s, they were using linear method to tackle the data. When there was enough data, huge data, then they started using HLM model, hierarchical linear model, to understand, to interpret those data. Nowadays, we have sophisticated tools available in social sciences, like SPSS, very known to us. Though some of us are using SPSS, not all of us, because it needs a particular training. So I think most of the participants, they are aware about SPSS and they might be using that. But the limitation to our generation of learners, because that time it was no SPSS, it was all that traditional kind of tools and techniques, and it was the traditional kind of analysis of data also. So under the quantitative data, we have numbers, figures, statistical interpretation, and we have also measurement. The word measurement and the word data, it is interchangeable. So far, the quantitative data is concerned. And different values. For example, some values might be different in terms of 0.03. It has got some meaning. So different values of variation conveys different meanings into quantitative data. The other important thing about this data is it could be of discrete type and continuous type. Let me give you a very simple example. Continuous type, like just now we discussed, we are using tools in social sciences like SPSS, we are using Stata, we are using EP data, we are using EP info, we are using SALStat. So many software are available. Even SOFA, SOFA statistics we have there are also available. But very few of us, let me tell you, in social sciences, the limitation with us, with most of us, that we are not very much comfortable in quantitative handling, quantitative data. So one software is enough, not the others, what I just discussed. In our university, we are a bit privileged, we are a central university, but we have only procured that SPSS. It's very costly. It's not that pirated version is available, but original version is very costly. So somehow in the entire university, SPSS package university has purchased. So our students, they work on SPSS, but that is, I mean, many of the government colleges, many of this management colleges, they are not that much privileged to have to having this original software, so far data handling is concerned. So that is also a fact. So let me come back quickly to the discrete information. That includes, when we count whole in number, for example, students in a class. And that is also a form of discrete information. It contains definite and finite number, like 50 students in a class, definite number. And it is also counted. Things could be counted. like 50, 70, 71, 75, even 0.001%, something like that. And we have the continuous data, it has infinite number. Probably the values cannot be selected within the given range. For example, these all the softwares, since the data is used, in SPSS you can put large number of data collected from the field, and that could be analyzed. Earlier there was no software, so researcher has to analyze data on his or her own effort. Then there is another social scientist. The name is Talent, and that gentleman person in 2005, he is saying that the software like SPSS or Stata and this SOFA and SalStat, these all the softwares can be used to produce descriptive statistics, and that includes the mean standard deviation or bivariate and multivariate forms of analysis. Different levels of analysis he is trying to convey could be done through this quantitative data. And now quickly, it was broad kind of data, and quickly coming back to the third part of my lecture. And many of us, those who have done field work, those who have done MPhil or PhD, we might have used some of, one or maybe a mix of two methods. Some tools might have been used to collect data in the field, if it is a field-based study. So, largely in social sciences, because if we discuss about the tools, the methods, tools means methods of data collection. So commonly available tools are, one is that very prevalent in sociology, a subject like sociology, that is observation, field observation. Another could be survey. Another could be interview, face-to-face interview. Now, a lot of efforts are being put on focus group discussion, going to the village, interacting with the people, those who are, for example, some beneficiaries of this housing scheme. So maybe they will go for the focus group discussion, including Gram Pradhan and Panchayat members and beneficiaries. So that is also a very popular method nowadays to collect data. Another could be life history. Similarly, we have case history or case studies. So nowadays documentaries are also available. Documentaries on different, different aspects. Documentaries are available. Daniel McNabb, scientist I was referring to in the beginning, that we'll go through the broader classification, what he has taken. Things are the same almost, but he is saying that in 2005, he has given about his views about sources of data and methods of data collection. Sources of data and methods of data collection. Under methods of data collection, he has included many methods, what we have just discussed now. For example, FGT, for example, interview, for example, survey, observation, etc. He is saying that there could be positivist research data sources. Positivist is linking the whole thing with the philosophy of research in social sciences. So his view is the first could be positivist research data source. By positivist research, he is saying that it is evidence-based. Something is there in the field. So evidence-based reality, that can be mathematically interpreted. Because in positivism, people will not believe if it is not cross-checked or if it is not existing, if it is not based on evidence. So another another type of data, according to David McNabb, would be that post-positive research data. Post-positive means that records, for example, college records, you might be having the records in that Rajshri College, RSM, this Latur College you are teaching. In all the colleges, universities you are teaching. The university record, the old records. This was the record, and these are the toppers, and these are the gold medalists from the college. They are the university position holders. How do we interpret these things? Because we have records available in the principal office, in the record room. Nowadays, that e-data, storage of research. So data storage is also a crucial issue in the college, in the university. Recently, you might have gone through the news that site of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, it was hacked by the hackers. So for 2 weeks or so, that was the trouble for the government, because the whole data was hacked. And that hackers probably, it appeared in the newspaper, that demanded 200 crores from the government. I'm not sure what happened, but nowadays the site of website of AIMS, Delhi, it has started working. But it created huge problem for the AIMS and the management of that hospital. Because if data is hacked, so it is related to not only the pathological tests, rather other crucial information about the patients. So track record of patients are kept in e-data, and that was hacked by hackers. So there was huge problem for the government. So sometimes these hackers are also posing challenge for the government officials. You know, sensitive data are also available. So under the post-positivist data source, he has put the existing documents, records, and that old whatever we have government records or old gadgets or something like that. And he is saying that for positivist, having the broader two categories, positivist research data source and post-positivist research data source. For post-positivist data source, will come later. Prior to that, we would like to discuss positivist research data source. Things are the same, what we have studied, what we have done, but he has put it in a through different dimensions. He has tried to analyze the things through different dimensions. And that is beauty of the social science. So under positivist research data, there could be primary data source, and there could be secondary data source. In sociology, in social sciences, we believe that data which is being collected by the researcher going to the field, that is the primary data. And if data has been taken from the secondary sources, from office records, from census, from some other sources, that is the secondary data for social science for us. He has also put the same thing, and he is saying that there could be primary data source, there could be secondary data source. And primary data source, basically, they are field surveys. Based on what? Field surveys. So we might have collected data going to the field. In most of the cases, PhD requires a field work. So field data is collected through observation, through survey. That is why David McNabb is saying that field survey could be done through questionnaires. Now email is one of the prominent ways to collect information from the
Hello, sir.
Net problem is there. Please wait.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Yes, yes. He is in trouble of net problem.
Yeah.
Please wait. Please.
Okay.
Dubey, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, you just call. Hello, sir.
Can I make a call?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So participants, please wait. Sir is rejoining. Net issue is there. Please wait for a moment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Am I visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are visible as well as audible, sir.
Okay. But I am not able to see myself on the screen.
I think there is a network issue.
Anyway, if I am visible and audible, then
Yes.
let me continue.
Okay.
So, friends, sorry for the interruption. That all of a sudden that internet connection and surprisingly, I am not visible on the screen. But if Dhumal sir is saying that you are visible, it means I am visible there. So sorry for the interruption. We were discussing about David McNabb, how he has classified that positive research data sources and post-positive research data sources. In the positive research data sources, basically he is saying that there could be primary data source, there could be secondary data source. And we all know that the data collected by the researcher in the field, that is known as primary data. And if it is collected, it has been collected by someone else and has been used for some other purpose, but the same data is being used by some other researchers. So that is not collected through the field, we can put it into the secondary sources. And he's saying that that primary sources could be field survey, could be field studies, could be experiments. So under the experiment category, he is putting laboratory experiments, that experiments done in the laboratories. So, but in social sciences, particularly in sociology, there is no laboratory. So, less use of this source of primary data. Basically, we are focused on field survey. So, there could be questionnaire, there could be attitude surveys, there could be lifestyle surveys also. And we are very much familiar about the field studies through the primary data, and tools are observational studies. Those studies, many famous sociological studies, they are based on observation method of data collection. Similarly, we have personal interviews of that Atal Bihari Vajpayee, interviews of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the great Prime Ministers of India, interview of Abul Kalam Azad, our great president. So, personal interview. They are personal interviews basically done by that journalists and all that. There are focus group interviews also. For example, if you are going to a village and want to have some data related to health, related to school, related to condition of the school, related to who is going to school and who is a dropout, you can find out through school records, and other source could be that focus group discussion. So you can gather data through that source also. There could nowadays a lot of things are getting done through recording by mobile phones, that video recording, mobile phones. There could be audio recordings also, but this video recording or video taping or audio recording, these are also the forms of field studies. Some of the studies are based on this audio video recordings also. Nowadays, what these big TV houses, what they are doing, they have installed certain cameras in the forest areas, and they can gather data about the animal behavior, how they live, what is the process of movement. Sometimes some devices are also put along with the belt around the neck of that particular animal. For example, tiger and leopard and even birds also, migratory birds. So people are also gathering data. Those who are working on birds behavior, those who are working on animal behavior. So they are also gathering data through the electronic devices. And for secondary data, there could be registered, there could be voter list. For example, if you are going for voting, you will find your name there in the voter list. That is available with the party workers, those who are sitting 100 meters away from the booth. So they will give you the small slip, parchi, voter parchi. So that is the example that if you are a registered voter, in NCT elections, Delhi, it happened that many of them were, earlier they voted, but this time no names were there. So that was also, that became also an issue, that they are not allowed to vote despite their names earlier they have voted. So we have that records, we have voter list, we have human resource records also. Human resource record. How many of them are graduates? Even for the NAC purpose, we are doing this. Our students have passed out from the, for example, your Mahavidyalaya, where they have gone, their record is also with us. Which services and what is the pay scale, everything we have to keep for the alumni cell. There is the alumni cell for the NAC. We all are doing that. So we are familiar with the kind of data we keep for the NAC purpose. Again, we have that records in the college, in the accounts office. That is the beautiful office of the college or the university, you know. Everybody likes that office because of the behavior of the accountant, because of the finance people. They are so good, so nice to the college, to the universities. So we all remember that. We also go to that offices because of TDS. Sir, salary kam mila, zyada mat kaatiye. Because they are they are deducting enough, money at the source. So in a way, we all are beneficiaries of that system, quote unquote. That is why they keep record of accounts. If you will take 100 rupees or say 1000 rupees from the college, you have to give bills also. That too, GST bills and other bills you have to furnish, because that will kept into the record. So classically, that becomes the secondary source. If NAC team comes to your college, for example, we also go sometimes to the NAC as a peer team member. So honorable principal from your college, so he was also a member in a NAC team we met last month, recently. So we tend to go through the records. Where is the recruitment records of 4th class? Where is the records of what percentage of syllabus you have changed if you are in autonomous college? What sort of activities you have for the slow learners, for advanced learners you have done. So from narrow perspective of NAC, I'm telling you that these are also kept at the college level, and these are the secondary source of data. Now, coming to the positive research data sources. Positive research data sources, there could be 3 types of post-positive research data source. One is existing data. It could be 3 types. One is existing data, other is internal records, and the third one is external sources. So what are the external sources? External sources could be through case studies. Certain case studies are there. It could be through case studies. Then we have internal records. We have e-records also. For example, email, your Gmail account. What is it? It is a sort of record available with you. That how many correspondence you have done. Sometimes we tend to delete it if that is not required, that is not essential. So emails could be there. Then there could be policy papers. New agriculture policy, agriculture bills. Last year, Parliament passed agriculture bills, and there was a protest also, farmers' protest against those bills, 3 agriculture bills. So we could have other reports and documents of the government. Then existing documents could be related to books and periodicals. Suppose books are there, periodicals are there, some articles are there, and books have been written on certain themes. Then we have published reports. For example, All India Survey, Health Survey. For example, All India Survey related to education, related to health, related to housing, related to consumption. So this falls under existing documents. Then we have local, state, and that government records, state level government records. Governments are also having some record about the people, about the lifestyle, about the pattern, about recently like 2 years corona deaths. People who were admitted to the hospitals, they have got the records. So even college and university documents, what a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, we were discussing that college is having certain records, certain documents. So old documents we are also having in the university, in the college. So sometimes we have there are minutes of the meeting also. Suppose some meeting was there in the college related to this ICSSR sponsored this thing, There might have been 3-4 meetings. How to go for this proposal? If the proposal has accepted, the money has come. So what is the schedule we have? Who will be the resource persons? Who will be the participants? And resource persons nowadays, since all this HRDC and this kind of training programs being run on online, so there is definite planning for that also. From 3 to 5 slots, will it be enough? Or maybe sometimes 3 hours given for 3 lectures, sometimes 1 hour, 1.5 hours for 1 lecture, something like that. Similarly, PPT presentations that has been also been discussed through some meeting. So it could have been minuted also. So that sort of record would be placed under existing documents. And the very popular method, the survey method we use for in social science, and it is used across the disciplines in social science. In sociology, we also use, economists are also using that. Particularly political science people, they are also using survey methods. So it is basically a collection of demographic and socio-economic data. What is the mortality rate? What is the infant mortality rate? What is the growth rate, population growth rate, whether it has been reduced or increasing. So, collecting demographic data and socio-economic data, the percentage of people below poverty line. The classical data used to come from Planning Commission. Now, it has been replaced by some other body at the center. Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog has replaced Planning Commission. So, data particularly on poverty. So earlier it was 22.8% people. It was reported that people living poverty line. So that is also done under the survey method. Then if broadly I will name those things, and I don't want to go into the detailed kind of thing. Types of surveys could be also of broadly 3 types. One is census. Another is cross-sectional survey. When time is taken into consideration, cross-sectional studies, cross-sectional survey against time. When time becomes the core issue, something getting done against the time. And third, we have longitudinal studies, longitudinal. So under longitudinal, we have trend studies, we have cohort studies, and we have panel studies. Trend studies, they are focused on the same population. For example, opinion poll. A lot of opinion poll were coming, pre-poll and post-poll. Pre-poll and post-poll. I think I'm audible, Professor Dhuman?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, we have trend studies under the survey, and that is related to, for example, opinion poll. Then, on certain issues, you can take the opinion of teachers also. And needless to give the example that most of us, we want the old pension scheme, across the country. So suppose it could be there. So I hope that everybody, we are in the old pension scheme, but we also want that old pension scheme for our fellow members, faculty members. So such kind of surveys are related to trend studies. Then we have cohort studies, and because cohort studies follow participants who share common characteristics, same occupation. For example, farmers are there. In Maharashtra, sugar cane farmers are there. Cotton producers are there. We have certain lobbies in Maharashtra also, sugar lobby. Certain political parties are attached to that kind of, power equations. So all those studies, when the people are from the same occupation, if studies are done, so they follow participants who share the same occupation. Then third, we have the panel studies. Panel studies, 10 minutes back, I gave data about the discussion about the Diastrator. So over the period, each year, each primary school, each 10 level school, 10 plus 2 level school, they are taking the data. So we have Diastrator, for example, it is collected every year. We have census. each 10 years. So we have, and that provides us trends also. So for Diastrator is concerned, since I have worked with them for some period of time, so I know that they will provide you the enrollment, the trends in enrollment, NER, net enrollment ratio, GER, gross enrollment ratio. They will provide you the repetition also, that how many girls are getting repeated in a particular class, how many girls are being dropped out from the primary cycle, or say from standard 2, standard 3, 4, 5. What is the maximum number? What is the percentage? And which social group they belong to? So these kind of surveys are put under the panel studies. Then coming back quickly to the, because I think 15 minutes are also left. Professor Dhumal?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
Okay.
As per your convenience, sir.
Okay. Now, this is the section most of social science people are very comfortable, the last but one part. So, if we go through the observational method to collect data from the field, because first was the survey, second was observational method. We have observation is what? Systematic viewing of certain things. जो हम फील्ड में देखते हैं सिस्टमेटिकली, देखते तो हम बहुत कुछ है, लेकिन फील्ड में जिसको हम सिस्टमेटिकली व्यू करते हैं वो है ऑब्जर्वेशन. So there could be in sociology very popular forms of observations are participant observation. A very famous study has been done by Professor M.N. Srinivas. Participant observation. Or long back, somebody studied criminals. So he became one of their gang members and studied criminal behavior. Central Police Organization, Delhi, it has got a distinct wing, and continuously that police wing, they are researchers. They are from sociology, they are from anthropology, they are from economics, they are from political science. Different researchers from the different disciplines are there. And full time what they are doing? They are indulged in the studying certain gangs operating in different metropolitan cities. So that is a part of their strategy. And some of them, they became gang members also. Not actually indulging into the crime, but they are friendly with those gangs in order to collect data. So participant observation. Suppose I want to gather data from your college. So maybe I will become a fictive teacher there. I will become a student there through student community, live with the student. I will observe their opinion about the college management, about the national education policy, about the canteen facilities provided in the college, in the amenities provided to the students. So, participant observation means you are participant and you are observing the things. So, participant in the group. Some of the sociologists, they went to their villages, they mixed up with the people, stayed in that village, observed their activities, what they are doing from morning till evening, and try to understand their customs, their behavior, their group behavior, and other that social phenomena with the community. What kind of rituals, if it is a tribal community, village community, what kind of religious rituals they have, what is the logic behind that, and there is a local logic, a piece of paper can be important for us, but that cannot be important for people from another culture, different culture. For example, those who have worked with the tribals, they know it better. The language affinity is very, very strong among tribals. If you speak some of their words from their language, they will be mixed up with you very easily. So, participant observation, very popular. Then we have non-participant observation. When the researcher is not participating in the activities, just living social media. When he or she stays in the field but not participating in the activities, so that is non-participant observation. Many of the studies on marriage and rituals, they have been done using non-participant observation. Then we have then we have controlled, we have uncontrolled, we have inter and intra-subjective observation. And another method of data collection could be interview. Very popular again in the subject like sociology, interview. So it is conversation between at least two people, or sometimes it is among human beings. Purpose of conversation between that researcher and the population, or the respondents or the respondent, it is very clear that this is the purpose why they are interacting. So it could be, interview could be structured, semi-structured or unstructured. If it is structured, means very, very formal way. Suppose I take time from you, I will take time from you in the college, I will meet you, I will talk on the topic I am working, or I will talk exactly, very structured manner, very formal kind of, interaction. Then the semi-structured interviews are in between formal and informal. So sometimes these journalists, they take interview of politicians. So sometimes they become informal also. Like India TV, that Rajat Sharma and all that. Other prominent journalists from other news channels. Sometimes they are formal, sometimes they are a bit of informal also. So we have another tool of data collection could be, which put under this method could be focus group discussion. So I will not go into detail kind of thing so far FGD is concerned. So a small group discussion guided by a leader. And for example, Gram Pradhan, Gram Panchayat, for certain this Indira Awas Yojana, some housing scheme, some beneficiary scheme. Now money is being transferred to the direct transfer to the beneficiary's account. So how many of them are beneficiaries, how many of them are not? So if you go to the village, interact with the people and organize focus group discussion, so ultimate reality will come out. People will say truth, that what is happening. Say if it is Manrega, so how many people who are close to the Gram Panchayat, Gram Pradhan, they have been given job, and how many of them they are not given job because they are not close to the Gram Panchayat, Gram Pradhan, something like that. So it is broadly the qualitative data collection. Focus group discussion is qualitative. We can put it under the qualitative. Then sometimes, another method could be life history. Life history. We sometimes go through the life history. Mahatma Gandhi bibliography, experiment with truth, something like that. So this is also the qualitative method of data collection, where individuals are asked to document their life over the period of time. Suppose somebody asks you that you are a teacher, you are a professor at the college level, at the university level. So narrate your experiences. You might have started your life from a village, from a city, from a big city, whatever circumstances may be. Then over the period of time, you have to document your memories, you have to document your childhood, you have to document other things, And it is most of the cases personal account of their life. Personal account. That might be wrong or that might not be, you cannot you cannot generalize it. That is your personal account. That through your effort, through your, sincerity, through your hard work, you have achieved this status, you are vice chancellor, you are a principal, you are an honorable teacher, maybe in the school, maybe in college, maybe in the university. So that is the documentation, personal documentation. Then, another, it could be, there could be 3 or 4 types of life history. I will, हेलो, एक सेमिनार में बोल रहे हैं तो सभी खत्म। Sorry for interruption. There was a call from Delhi. But life history, that method, it could be comprehensive, it could be edited. Certain these bureaucrats or politicians, they also adopt this method. That documentary will show that this particular leader was like this during childhood, like this. He did so much work for the people and he was so popular, something like that. So there could be edition also. The part that is not suited could be edited, and that could be edited, and that could be that all the good things would be projected. So this is the thing he or she has done because of his or her own interest, quote unquote interest, political interest. So techniques are to, documentary, we have documentary method also. Many documentaries are being made in particularly Mumbai on people, on great people. So mostly these documents are related to personal life history of a particular person. And nowadays that is also being used as that, image formation. Certain groups are there in the market. So they will take money and they will do the needful for the image formation. So image making rather. Particularly this Bollywood, people working in Bollywood or people, those who are aspiring to be political elites. So something like that. And the last part of lecture was related to how data is related to that ICT, Information Communication Technology. I will take just a minute or so on that, this aspect, because nowadays a lot of intervention from this information communication technology, and the contribution from the geostationary satellites, that is also immense so far dissemination of data is concerned. Suppose something happens, some road accident, unfortunate accident takes place at Maharashtra, in Maharashtra, Mumbai-Pune Expressway. How many people died, what happened, what was the distance, and how many casualties from the both sides have been taken place. So such kind of things are possible because of geostationary satellites and very fast exchange of information on the very fast this level. So we have information communication technology. Basically, it is the blue chip technology. Blue chip is the chip, and this technology is based on blue chip. So immediately there is a breaking news, immediately flashing news, and immediately we have we can be aware. Sometimes it is used for forecast also. Because of geostationary satellite, we can know that what kind of climatic changes are going to take place at the seashore area. What could be the prediction of 10 days forecast? That what would be the temperature of Delhi within coming 10 days? What would be the temperature of Latur within a week, over 5 days, over 2 days? That is known because of this geostationary satellite and because of ICT, on a very faster pace. So, needless to say that nowadays the contribution from the technology, for example, ICT. For example, we have nowadays, because of the blue chip technology, we have large data storage centers. And we have most of the data is being captured and being documented in e-forms. e-forms, e-data, e-forms, and another very important emerging branch of the science is data science. Data science, because data science is relatively a new science. In IITs, in engineering colleges, a lot of focus is being given on data science, that how data should be collected, documented, and shared. So it is not only about the collection, documentation, rather it is about the sharing also. So it is a new science and it has emerged, which is interdisciplinary field. NAC is also putting emphasis on interdisciplinary. This national education policy, a lot of emphasis on interdisciplinary. That science student, that is why you have CBCS system. CBCS, choice-based credit system. That sociology student can study computer science. That physics student can go to anthropology. That anthropology student can take a paper from political science. And these political science students, they can take a paper from if biotechnology is being taught in their college or their university. So that is the privilege. So it is because it is a new science and interdisciplinary field, and that uses scientific method. It is very scientific, processes data, and they have developed a system to extract knowledge. Ultimately, data is for extracting knowledge. Data itself is nothing. So we extract knowledge out of that. After interpretation, after analyzing, we gather knowledge out of that. So basically, data science is about capturing of data. It is about maintaining data. It is about processing data. And it is about analyzing data. And finally, data, what kind of data and what sort of data could be shared with the public, with the people. That is also important. Last, another 1 minute I will take. That I would like to quote Hal Varian. He is the chief economist at the Google, and he is UC Berkeley Professor of Information and Sciences. He is revealing that in coming decades, importance of data is likely to be used. In coming decades, he is visualizing that importance of data would be used because demand from the various social sector would be very high. He believes that demand of data from social sector, not from the medical sciences, not engineering sciences, not from the management, rather in the social sciences, the demand would be huge. So we have lot of scope related to data science, and we have lot of, things to be understood and to be done, particularly in the social sciences, to understand the nature of data. Though most of us, we use data consciously or unconsciously, that is embedded in our mind. So use of data in any form, it starts from morning till evening, till retiring to the bed. So that is all from my side. It was a synoptic view, and Professor Dhumal, I will try to send you that PPT also. I have some pages written with me.
Yes.
So I could not prepare that PPT. So
Yes.
that was my limitation, but
It is fine, sir. Fine, sir. No problem. Now
And,
the session is open for the questions raised by the participant. Tausif Pathan, sir. Have you any question? Tausif Pathan, sir. Pathan, sir. Tausif Pathan. Any question from your side?
sir, you can share your experiences also during PhD, what you have done.
Yes. Yes, open for questions, discussion. Anyone participant?
Are they mute or?
They can unmute. themselves.
Okay.
There is no problem. Yes, ma'am. They can unmute themselves.
Sir, I think that we have to do that because
Yes, yes. Yes.
there
Topic
is a
buttons.
some just a minute, just a minute.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Dear participants, you can unmute yourself and you can raise your question, queries. As sir just mentioned, you can share your experiences also. Your views are welcome.
हाँ प्रोफेसर प्रोफेसर वीरेंद्र जी सर
Namaskar, sir. How are you, sir?
Sir, good evening, good afternoon. Fine, sir, you?
I'm fine, and thank you so much for providing the opportunity to speak and interact with the participants.
It's my pleasure, sir. It's my pleasure.
इच्छा कर रहा था कि मैं आपसे बात करूं बहुत अच्छे शब्दों में इतना क्लिष्ट इतना कठिन विषय जो है आपने बड़े सरल शब्दों में और सहज शब्दों में आपने हम सबको समझाने का प्रयास किया है। कई बार शोध पद्धति जैसे बड़े कठिन विषय को समझने में दिक्कत होती है, लेकिन आपने बहुत अच्छे ढंग से समझाया है। आपका बहुत बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू सर।
मैं डॉक्टर उदयभान सिंह, सहायक प्राध्यापक लोक प्रशासन राजनीति शास्त्र, गुरु नानक खालसा कॉलेज, यमुनानगर, हरियाणा।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू फॉर दिस फीडबैक एंड पार्टिसिपेंट्स कैन शेयर। आप अपने एक्सपीरियंस ही बता सकते हैं। जैसे पीएचडी में हम लोग सबका अपना अलग अलग एक्सपीरियंस होता है। कोई ट्रैवल एरिया में काम करता है, कोई गांव में काम करता है, कोई शहरों में भी काम करता है, तो उसके भी अपने एक्सपीरियंस होते हैं डेटा कलेक्शन के लिए। कहीं इंटरप्रेटर की भी जरूरत पड़ती है तो वो भी शेयर कर सकते हैं बहुत क्विकली। चलिए कोई नहीं, अगर नहीं शेयर करना चाहते कोई बात नहीं। शायद लोग थक गए होंगे आफ्टरनून में। वो क्लास आफ्टरनून की क्लास भी बहुत जो करेक्टिव नहीं होती है, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ फैक्ट।
यस सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर।
सर आपने इतने अच्छे ढंग से समझाया है कि अब किसी की कोई क्वारी ही नहीं है, कोई जिज्ञासा ही नहीं है। बहुत अच्छे ढंग से समझाया सर आपने।
सर थैंक यू सर।
और ऑर्गेनाइजिंग जो टीम है कॉलेज की बहुत बहुत अच्छे तरीके से, चाहे वो टेक्निकल हो चाहे बाकी हो, बहुत अच्छे ढंग से ऑर्गेनाइज कर रही है। उसके लिए भी पूरी ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम को कांग्रेचुलेशन, साधुवाद।
Thank you.
I also agree with that person, sir, that delegate. You are explain your views in a simple language. Yes, there is no questions, I think, from the participant side.
So we can go for the ending of the session, yes. Formal ending of the session.
Yes. I am here for vote of thanks. Good evening to all.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute.
Yes.
अनुजा मैम, कुमार सर, एक बात पूछनी थी। ये तो रिस्पेक्ट पर्संस बढ़िया जानकारी दे रहे हैं, बाद में हमको वीडियो करेंगे क्या?
जी सर, we are going to share the PPTs and their videos on our group, sir, WhatsApp group.
Thank you. So nice.
Yes. Before going towards the last session, that is vote of thanks, on the behalf of organizing committee, I welcome the principal of our college, respected Dr. Madhavji Gawane sir, and I request him to share some words with the participants.
Last.
जी सर। Kumar sir.
Yes, yes. Yes. Good evening to all. I am very much thankful for today's resource person, knowledgeable resource person, Professor B.N. Dubey sir, for enlightening us in the field of data and social science research in a simple manner. I am very much thankful of Dr. Madhav Bhavane sir, principal of our college, chief organizer of this program, Dr. Anuja Yadav ma'am, Department of English, and all the colleagues of Department of English. I am also thankful to Mr. Ankush Shendge for giving us technical support. And last, I thankful all the delegates for actively participating in the session. One announcement is there for the participant. Please submit your assignment and feedback on the given link in the WhatsApp group. Please, feedback and assignment link should be there. Please fill it. Thank you all once again. Have a good day. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Mahadev. Thank you, Professor Dhumal, Professor Dr. Anuja Jadhav. We are thankful. I am thankful to you for providing me this opportunity. And it was nice experience, academic experience. And hope I'll visit your college some or other day.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Definitely, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Participants, do you have any query regarding the program? It's okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.